Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up? It's your girl, Miss All Purpose, live on All Purpose Radio, right here on my radio, Chicago. This is more of a welcome back type of situation. Yeah, welcome back, I guess is what I'll say, because I have been on vacay for a little bit here, and and it's like, well, it's like riding a bike, but it's not like riding a bike. So anyway, I am happy to be back with you. Unmute mic. Come on, StreamYard. Okay, okay, you got to come back. Larry Long Jr., my special guest, he's gonna have to come back. Oh no, I can bring him back. Hold on, wait up. Yes, guys, I'm here. I'm back. There we go. All right, unmuted. All right, Larry, say something. Can you say something, Larry? Can you hear me? Or you cannot hear me? Your mouth isn't moving, so I'm going to guess that you cannot hear. Can you not hear me? That's weird. And the tech guy is unavailable, which sucks. That sucks tremendously. All right, let's see what Larry said. Can you not hear me, Larry? Why can't he hear me? Testing, testing. Can you hear me now, Larry? No, no. Testing one, testing two. All right. Well, let me remind everybody, you can hear me on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tweet 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here on my radio, Chicago. I am going to go on Facebook to make sure you guys can hear me. And if you are looking or watching on Facebook, let me know if you can hear me. All right. We're going to do a little tech difficulties here. Larry, can you hear me yet? No, not yet. I see him plugging some things in. So hopefully he'll be up here soon. Is that an echo? Okay, I think I'm good. If you can hear me out there in Facebook land, just let me know. All right, anyway, I got a cheat sheet. Can you hear me now, Larry? Okay, good. Okay,
can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
Happy about that. All right. So happy Saturday, everybody. Can you believe that it is almost Labor Day? Like, seriously? Like, oh my goodness. But we are all here in one piece, and that is all that counts in our right mind, which is what's really important. So first of all, I want to welcome my guest, Larry Long Jr., CSP, to the show. We got a round of applause for Larry. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. All right, Larry, so I got my cheat sheet here, but would you have a problem introducing yourself? No? Oh, you're on mute. You got to unmute yourself. Are you?
I'm never on mute. Is the microphone on? Can you hear me now, marvelous Misty? I am super excited to be here on this super Saturday, stupendous Saturday. In a nutshell, I'm Larry Long Jr., CEO, that's Chief Energy Officer of LLJR Enterprises, and I am just happy to be here. I'm blessed to see another day, and I cannot wait to chop it up with you on All Purpose Radio. Thank you, Misty.
No, well, thank you for being here. And I always like to say, and if you see me multitasking, like right now, I want to tag you on the live post. So I'm kind of multitasking. But I know Larry from the Black National Speakers Association. We met by participating in the $1 Million Mastermind, which is where we work off Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And so Larry was somebody I met in this group, but I also got a chance to see Larry this past summer at our annual conference of the National Speakers Association, Influence. And first of all, I gotta give Larry another congratulations. Larry earned the highest designation that a speaker can earn in the National Speakers Association, which is a CSP certified speaking professional. Is that right, Larry Long Jr.?
That's correct. I'm pinching myself. I never would have thunk it. Never would have imagined.
Well, you deserve a round of applause for your CSP. And also a shout out to Carol Copeland Thomas, one of my mentors. She earned hers as well. And She said, Misty, you need to get on the road to earning your CSP. And she had me set a monthly goal, dollar amount. I was like, oh, but they say, Larry, if it doesn't make you puke, it's not high enough.
I love it. I love it. Now you're talking my language.
Yes. So, all right. So I have a little cheat sheet here that I ask everybody to fill out in regards to yourself. But let's start. I like to go back a little bit. So on this show, I highlight entrepreneurs and business owners. And so I just want to know, did you come out the womb speaking? How did this road get you from birth to now?
Oh, it's crazy. So no. But yes. I've been speaking for 48 years, but getting paid to speak. So my career, I played baseball at University of Maryland, go Terps. And then I worked for Accenture doing IT consulting, Accenture based out of Chicago. I wasn't passionate about it. So I opened an indoor baseball and softball academy. That was my first real foray into entrepreneurship. And unfortunately, we struck out. We after a year and a half, we ran out of cash, no business. So I had to go back to the real world. And I was making 150 ice cold calls a day as a sales professional, scheduling meetings, getting hung up on, cursed out. Became a leader and had some success. And I did that for 16 years. And I wouldn't say I was miserable, but I wasn't living in my purpose or my gifting. And every time I had opportunities to speak to other teams, I used to get fired up. I said, ooh, this is awesome. And I met a gentleman who said, Larry, did you know you could get paid to speak? I said, shut the front door. Come on, Cletus. he said, respectfully, are you stupid or are you dumb? Because every time that I spoke, my fee was free 99. He said, hey, I understand if you're talking to little leaguers or nonprofits, yeah, you can do it for free 99. But if you do corporate, they write me a check with a few zeros after that first number. You should be getting paid. He said, when you want to turn your little hobby into a business, give me a call. So it was 2019. My wife said, hey, baby, you tell everyone else to follow their dreams, pursue their passion, look in the mirror. You're faking the funk. You're not happy. We see you when you walk through the front door, shoulders slumped, halfway depressed. What you going to do about it? And I said, whoa, I'm supposed to be the one asking the tough questions. But I called Dr. Kevin Schneider. I got into his program, paid to speak, and had my first paid speaking engagement March 17th of 2020. Think about that date. I know you're looking at me like, Larry, you're not Irish. You're not even Black Irish. It was St. Patrick's Day, but it was also the start of the pandemic. So I started my professional speaking career at the heart of the pandemic. Fast forward to March 26th of 2021, my corporate America job told me to hit the road, Jack. They chucked up the deuces on me. They said, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here. And that was, for me, that was a sign from God that I needed to pursue the professional speaking. So I just hit my 5-year anniversary in March. I pinch myself every day because I'm dreaming. I just don't pinch myself too hard because I don't want to wake up from this dream. All is well. All is well.
Good. Well, so many speakers, not all, but so many speakers. There's a what should I use? A important point in their history or background where you hear a lot of speakers say at a certain point they got let go from their corporate jobs or 9-to-5s or not having their own business, but they got let go from another job, which really helped spring them into doing what they love and doing what they love most. Now, let me ask you this question because you're in sales. You have a sales background. When it came time to set your fee for speaking, and let's say even starting out, how did you decide what to set your fee at?
Yeah, honestly, my fee was, right there or right there. It was random. Essentially, I started off at $500. So I said, I guess my hourly rate is $500 an hour. It wasn't until I spoke to Dr. James Smith Jr., who said, Larry, we're not hourly workers. They're not paying us for the 60 minutes on stage. He said, how long did you go to school? I said, 12 years. He said, college, 4 years. So he said, okay, that's 18 years, right? That's 16 years right there. How long have you been a parent? How long have you been a leader? How long have you been in sales? How long have you been married? We added it up. It was like 93 years of lived experience, lessons learned and lessons earned. He said, Larry, what's the hourly rate for 93 years of experience? Is it $500? Is it $300? Is it $10,000? He said, they're not paying you for that time on stage. They're paying you for all the experience and for the solutions that you're going to bring to their problems. So being in sales, there's a value equation. You can't just go to the store and say, give me eggs, but I want them for 5 cents. No, when you receive value, you get value. It's an exchange. So it's the same thing. When we step on stage, we're solving problems. We're helping that audience. And really, it's priceless. That was the amount that I said. So he said, choose your fee accordingly. And it's been a journey. I started off at 500. I bumped up to 1,000, then 1,500, 2,500, 5,000. And now at 10,000, it still gives me the chills to even think I'm worth $10,000. But I'm worth more than that. Priceless.
Priceless. I love the way you explained that. And I love the way that gentleman explained it, because I had an extensive conversation yesterday with someone who's seen, let's just say they've known me, so 20, 25, so about 21 years, 22 years. And so they were regurgitating to me my experience. And so when you start adding up the school and the family and the this and the that, and even like, so I'll give you a perfect example. I speak on caregiving. Well, I've been a caregiver since I was 20 years old. And so to your point about adding all those years of experience, education, wisdom, it's like, yeah, it's not just about the 60 minutes, right? It's about all that you bring to it. And it was funny because so currently, but I'm transitioning, my audience is families, parents of children with disabilities. Okay. And so, but I'm switching gears because I've been a caregiver for my mother the last 4 to 5 years. And so I'm in that sandwich generation of women who have to take care of parents as well as take care of kids, as well as take care of yourself, which is most important. but he was listing these things and what I could bring and the different audiences and the different, like, you know, I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been this, I've been that, I've been this, I've been that. And so to your point, when you add all those years up of those different things, it's like, yeah, it's definitely more value than just the 60 minutes, but also making sure I understand what problem I solve.
That's it. I would tell you, so often we undervalue ourselves. So it's price your value accordingly and realize, because when we get on stage, we prepare. We go all out. We give our heart, our blood, sweat, and tears. And there's a value, a true value behind it. I spoke to a retired Speaker Hall of Famer, Warren Greshus, who said, Larry, fees are so personal. He said, I don't give advice around what you should charge, but I do know that most speakers, coaches, consultants, and trainers, they undervalue themselves because of the psychology of pricing, as well as some of that FUD, that fear, uncertainty, and doubt. If I tell people that it's $10,000, what will they say? Will they say, no, you're not worth $10,000? And then you have to take that and internalize it. And we're all in sales, whether you know it or not. We're all selling, whether it's thoughts, ideas, products, or services. We're all selling something at some time. And as a professional speaker, I would say that we're professional sellers. God bless you. I got you all choked up.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. I'm like, man, my feet just went up 10 seconds ago.
Now you're talking my language. But it's one of the biggest challenges that I see with speakers. And I've built a community where we have a group of 16 speakers. It's called the Abundant Speaker. And we talk about fees and the psychology, the mindset behind pricing ourselves. And it's quite fascinating, quite interesting. And hold on, Misty. Someone's knocking at the door. Who is it?
Money.
Oh, no. It was opportunity knocking at the door, and it's knocking at each and every one of your listeners and viewers' door as well. The opportunity is knocking. I hope you'll answer it.
Well, let's give a shout out to Richard. Forgive me, Richard. Richard Avion. How you pronounce that?
Abdoian CSP.
Abdovian. Shout out to Richard Abdovian CSP. He says, well deserved. Larry is a wonderful, caring, generous, gifted man. He is also an incredible being smile. He also has an incredible being smile. Oh, well, thank you, Richard. Thank you. So, Larry, all right. So let's see here. You have written a few books. Tell us about your book.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I published my book in 2022. It's called Jolt: Get Zapped into Intentionality, Rediscover and Believe in Your Inner Greatness. It's a compilation of I used to do a midday motivational minute every Wednesday at 12 noon. I would go live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. I did 319 episodes, and my book was my 7 most meaningful at the time. But before that, I co-authored a chapter in a book, and my chapter number 7 was The Little Things Are Really the Big Things. Now, I wanted it to be called The Little Things Are Really the Big Things, but they said, no, Larry, you can't talk like that in our book. If you want to talk like that, write your own. I said, all right, watch me. And I can tell you my book, Jolt, has plenty of Larryisms, and you could go back to any of my elementary, middle, and high school English teachers and tell them, little Larry Long Jr. wrote a book, and they would say, hold up, wait a minute. Where's Ashton Kutcher? Am I getting punked? There's no way that punk wrote a book. They used to tear my papers up with that red pen. But what it really proved to me and to everyone else is that anything is possible. If Larry Long Jr., little nappy-headed Larry Long Jr., back before my barber got mad at me, if I can write a book, you can do anything that you put your mind and your soul and your body and attention to. And teamwork really makes the dream work. I couldn't have done it without my team. Ooh.
Yeah. I got put onto this book by Robert Kennedy Jr. earlier this year. Who Not How. And you know, it's a great book because it how, and it teaches you the who. Who do you need to make this happen, and who do they need to make that happen? So yes, to your point, dream work makes the team work. So when you started your speaking career, did you just start with the general motivation? Did you have a more specific topic? Have you switched gears in topics? Talk a little bit about that.
All the above. And the book, Who Not How, is that Darren Hardy?
No, that's a lady. It's a lady.
Oh,
it's
really?
a lady. Let me pull it up.
Who Not How. Okay. I need to get that book. Okay.
Yeah,
so when I first started, I kind of fell into it. My presentation, my program was called Sales is Not a 4-Letter Word. And I'd already been giving it to early stage sales professionals, business development reps, sales development reps, those that have to pick up the phone a lot of times every day, deal with rejection. And that can mess with your mind if you let it. And you can feel like you're less than. But really, my message is that sales is beautiful when done right, when it's done for all the right reasons and with heart. I just got back from Knoxville, a sales conference called Totality. And one of my sales colleagues, Dale Dupree, he believes in doing sales heart-centered, so not focusing on quota. I think they call that commission breath, where all you're trying to do is let's do a deal. It's kind of like the traditional stereotypical used car salesman, ready to do a deal. No, I want to learn about you. I'm going to ask questions because I care about you. I want to see if there's a good fit, if there's a good match for me to serve and support you to solve your problems. And if not, I'm not going to just try to ram it in. I'm going to realize that, hey, I can't help you, can't serve you. I don't need to try to finagle or try to scam you. Sometimes people think of sales as scams, but that was my first topic. And then I kind of, my second topics came from my book. I had 7 keynotes from my book. What story are you telling yourself and believing? Strikeouts, they're a part of life. You are what you eat, which would make me a fried chicken, but being careful with the people you surround yourself with. The who, lessons from my dad. I'm back. I'm in Columbia, Maryland at my mom and my dad's house. I lost my dad over 10 years ago. So it feels good to be recording this here in Columbia, Maryland. I live in Durham, North Carolina, but my topics ranged. And then I had a mentor who said, Larry, 7 topics. Who are you trying to be? The Cheesecake Factory of speaking? Like that's too much. They said, the riches are in the niches and you got to narrow it down. I said, oh no, the fear of missing out. But I had my sales topic. I had my jolt kind of encapsulated topic, and then I fell into my leveraging LinkedIn for relationships and growing your business. They called me LinkedIn Larry because I was doing so much on LinkedIn. I was getting 90% of my business from relationships that were cultivated on LinkedIn. So now I've got 3 topics: jolt your life, jolt your sales, jolt your LinkedIn, and I'm working on jolt your future as my 4th program right now. So that's kind of my menu of options.
Nice. I like your menu of options because, and I like how you got like the jolt brand. You got the jolt brand, and then you can break it down, into these individual topics. And Who Not How. It's read by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. It's by Dan Sullivan, read by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Because this is the audiobook version. So Dan Sullivan. I don't know, his voice sounds like a woman to me when I'm thinking about it, but it's just it's a lighter voice. That was but I'm gonna leave it at that. It was a lighter voice. All right, so we do know that, and you just told us, leveraging LinkedIn. How did you realize that you could leverage LinkedIn? Did you find doing it by yourself? Did you listen or watch a podcast? Did somebody tell you? Tell me, how did you decide, or how did you figure out that you could leverage LinkedIn?
I fell into it. I was in corporate America and I was publishing content. And one of my sales leaders said to my boss, why is Larry always on LinkedIn? Why is he always posting on LinkedIn? He's not focused on the job here at hand. And I said, well, check the Carfax. Look at the scoreboard. My team is crushing numbers. So you can take that stuff. I had some other words. You can take that stuff to St. Elsewhere. And maybe if the other reps on the team looked at what I was putting out, they wouldn't be missing quotas. So that left a sour taste. And pretty much I said, LinkedIn is a way for me to connect and establish my brand and establish relationships for my next chapter. Because we know how it is. It's not like the good old days where you stay in a career for 20 plus years. For me, my shelf life was 2.5 years. And then it was on to the next opportunity, the next chapter. And what I found is that instead of going through the front door of just applying like everyone else, the best way is to go in through a side door or the back door where you leverage those relationships of people who know you, they like you, they love you, they trust you, they believe in you, so that they'll vouch for you internally. That's a whole lot easier. It's still not easy. You still have to do the work, but there's a saying, it's not what you know, but it's who you know. In my Steve Harvey Family Feud voice survey says, nah, it's not what you know, and it's not even who you know. I believe it's who knows you, who likes you, who trusts you, who believes in you that gets things moving. So that's been my experience with LinkedIn. And I grew, I think I had 46,000 plus followers. And these are folks that know me. They like me. I think they like me. They love me. They trust me. They believe in me, which creates opportunities that are knocking at the door. And you better believe I'm going to answer it.
Yeah. I know they used to say that Facebook was, now this was a couple of years ago now. Facebook is social, but LinkedIn is where the money is. That's where you're going to get people who are going to hire you.
It's business. It is business going on LinkedIn from my experience. And you better believe LinkedIn Larry is going to leverage every bit of it. And what I found is it's a reciprocal platform. So the more that I give, the more that I serve, the less that I gatekeep and I just share openly, honestly, in the spirit of serving and helping, it comes back to me in spades.
Yeah. I try to teach my kids a couple of things. My children participate in Ann McNeil's Youth Mastermind on Sundays. If you don't know who Ann McNeil is, she is the wealth builder. You can Google her. You go to annmcneil.com. But she has a weekly Sunday mastermind that's free for the kids. And I'm like, Ann McNeil free, y'all getting this. So my kids have been in the program for about 5 years now. But sometimes my daughter dreads going because it's on Sunday afternoons. It's like 40 minutes out of life. But anyway, but it's every Sunday. But over the last year or two, my daughter found herself in a position where she needed recommendations.
That's right.
And so it's dealing with school stuff, education stuff. But I told her, I said, see, you've been participating in the mastermind these 5-6 years. Now you need a recommendation, and now you can ask Miss Ann to write you a recommendation because she knows you, she knows your growth. She knows all these different things about you. So I try to get them to understand that, it's give and take. And you never know, you're participating in this today and you're meeting other kids around the country, right? Other young people from around the country. So these are communities that you're building, number one, that you can have for the rest of your life. And number two, you have somebody who can write a very elite recommendation for you. You know what I mean? So I hope that she understood that. Sometimes you got to do what I always tell my kids, we do what we got to do so we can do what we want to do. So, understanding that. And my son, he's 4 years younger than my daughter. Now, he always knew how to read, but he didn't like reading out loud. And so in the mastermind at first, and she don't push the kids, right? So at first he was like, no, I'm not reading out loud. But he's like her A stellar student now. You know what I mean? Reads out loud, has no problem with, doing that. So, sometimes we need to, teaching the kids, or whether it's us, the give and take, and to your point, reciprocity. I'm like, I don't want to be in any business or any friendship where there's not reciprocity, because you know what? We all need each other. And Maya Angelou said we're more alike than we are different. And you realize that we all need each other. Let me remind everybody, you are listening to All Purpose Radio with your girl, Miss All Purpose, right here on My Radio Chicago, with my special guest, Larry Loan Jr., who I think is just phenomenal. And so let me ask you this, because you have a phenomenal energy. Where did you come up with Chief Energy Officer?
I fell into it. I spoke to a group of sales professionals. They were in a sales training program, and one of the gentlemen said, "Larry, you are truly the CEO of your company, but it's not Chief Executive Officer." He said, "I'm going to give this to you. You're the Chief Energy Officer." And I said, I like that, and it stuck ever since. This was over 10 years ago when I was just speaking for free 99, and he blessed me with that moniker, and I said, we'll keep that thing rolling.
Yeah, I like that. I wish I could have thought about it first, to be honest. But especially when you're somebody who carries a lot of energy, or a lot of positive energy. I don't know if you know Mark LeBlanc in the National Speakers Association, but he coined me the fun angel. And I was like, yeah, well, okay, I'll take that. I am the fun angel, right? Because whenever I show up, it's time to have fun. but also from a spiritual standpoint, I bring that positive vibe and the positive energy too. So maybe I'll just stick with fun. Chief Fun Angel. That's Chief Fun Angel. CFA.
I love it.
I'm gonna have to work on that. So listen, Larry, what advice do you have to somebody starting out, maybe speaking business or any business? What's some tips and tools you can give them, but also speak to the behind the scenes? So you're a speaker, you get up there, you do your 60 minutes, but you have to get leads, and you have accounting, and you have all the behind the scene things. So give us a little bit insight into that, and what's the advice if somebody right now wants to start their business?
Yeah, I would encourage people to get crystal clear on your why. Why do you want to do what you're doing? What's your purpose? What's your all purpose behind doing it? For me, I want to serve. And speaking is my vehicle. I love to serve people. And I've been serving people in corporate America, but it was confined. The last team I had, we had 21 sales reps, and it was good, but I said God's purpose for me on this earth is to have impact on more than just 21 people. Let's make that 21,000. Let's make that 21 million. So understand your why. I would also encourage folks to understand every aspect of the business, even if you outsource the finance, even if you outsource the accounting, the marketing, the sales, the product, whatever it is, make sure you understand it, because as the leader, as the CEO, you should understand every aspect of your business. My baseball academy failed because I didn't understand the numbers. I didn't understand that if you have more money going out the back door than you have coming in the front door, that's a cash flow problem. And if you have a cash flow problem, you have a business that's going out of business. So you better believe I asked my accountant some of the stupidest questions because I just want to know. I want to make sure I don't get blindsided like before. I would also encourage folks, there's a book called 3 Feet from Gold. I would encourage you to read that, because oftentimes entrepreneurs give up when they're this close to where they want to be. And I've been there before. I've been on the brink of just waving the white flag and giving up. 3 Feet from Gold shares all that work that you've done to get to where you've gotten, all that progress. You're so close. Have faith, keep working hard. And I've learned this lesson the hard way. You can't have faith and fear at the same time. I've tried it. It. It doesn't work. Either you're going to have faith and believe, or you're going to have fear, but you can't have them both. So that's my encouragement. Entrepreneurship is tough, but choose your tough. Working in corporate America is tough. I know for me, I love the flexibility to be able to travel to Austin, Texas with my family, to be able to take my family with me to Portugal, to be able to be there for my son's soccer, my daughter's theater activities. So choose your tough and be all in. You can't be halfway in. I think Big Daddy Kane said it best. Ain't no half stepping. I think that was the great philosopher, Big Daddy Kane. Hey, you're either all in or you're all out.
and like to your point, choose your tough. It makes a big difference. And I know for me, because I enjoy picking my kids up from school and taking them to school and being at the activities and doing the things. But they're also at a point where my daughter's like, because she's switched to a new high school, which is literally like down the street, but not really, it's walkable, but you don't really want to walk, but it's maybe a 7-minute bus ride. She's like, oh, I think I'm gonna take the bus this year. I'm like, oh, take the bus this year? And what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? But both my kids this school year are at a point where they can walk to school or take the bus, which frees me up, right? So say if I have a morning where, or if I want to take a job, right? And it's like, but y'all can get yourself to school and from school. So that's a new freedom and independence for all of us. Ooh. And as they're getting older, my son, he's in 7th grade. As they're getting older, I'm finally at a point in life where I can really plan for my business more and plan for myself more. And it's exciting, but it also goes to the point of, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to be doing with your time? How much money do you want to make? What, to your point, like, I thought about getting a 9 to 5, and I was like, you can't get no 9 to 5 right now, just because of the simple fact that I want to be able to pick if they don't want to take the bus, and we're in Chicago, right? It could be 0 below. So I might not want them to take a bus or whatever. So, but to your point, choose what you want to go through. And like you said, either way, you still got to do the work. You still got to be all in. You still have to take risk. I know I take risk. I think I should be a bigger risk taker. We'll see how that plays out. But you got to take risks, right? Just like with your baseball company. I'm impressed that you started that, right? Because and I know here in Chicago, I don't know about where you live. Since the pandemic, a lot of Black people have been opening businesses, like a lot. I mean, all kinds, event space, restaurants, and people are just taking risks left and right. And so, to your point, you can't have faith and fear at the same moment. So you got to pick one. And, they say, feel the fear and do it anyway.
I love it. Misty, you made a point that I want to dig a little bit deeper. And
okay.
I worked with a coach 5.5 years ago, Coach Kristen Frade. And she asked me this question that's 5 words. And I'm going to ask everyone else who's listening or viewing, what do you want specifically? And when she first asked me that, I said, I want to be a millionaire. She said, survey says, nah. She says, Larry, that's a BS answer right there. She said, let's get deep into what you want your life to look like with your relationships with your wife, your kids, what you're doing day in and day out, who you're doing it with. And I remember I had to turn off my camera on Zoom because there were tears in my eyes. And just, I don't like to cry in front of people. It's a personal hang up. But I came to 4 pillars. I wanted to have international global impact. I wanted to be an international speaker. I wanted my family involved. I'd missed out on some moments in my family. And I said, if I have the power to, I don't want to miss out. I wanted golf to be involved. I don't know if you know this, Misty, but Tiger Woods is my cousin. Now in our family, he's my long lost cousin. They call me Larry Hit It in the Woods. But it's a bad dad joke. I can't help myself. But I love the golf. And then my 4th pillar is I wanted my fun meter, as Mark LeBlanc says, I wanted my fun meter to be off the chain. Now I paraphrase there. I don't think he said off the chain, but I really wanted to be having fun. I didn't know how I was going to get there. But in the words of the great philosopher, the other great philosopher, Chris, Luda, if you're nasty, you've got to move and get out your own way. See, sometimes we're our biggest blocker and we look around and say the economy or this and that. No, we can control the controllable. Sometimes we've got to move and stop blocking our blessings because it's right there for the taking. So that I just wanted to dig into that. If no one takes anything away from this, take away, what do you want specifically and make it happen?
Oh my God. All right, so you have been a fabulous, fabulous guest. Where can people find you? Where do you, what you had? Well, you already did the call to action. So now I'm going to say, what's the call to action? You already did that. What do people want specifically? But where can people purchase your books? Where can they find you? All of that.
Yeah, you can find Jolt on Amazon. You can find me on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You'll probably hear me before you see me. I'm the man with the gold mic. Just don't drop it. But I would love to engage. And if I'm telling this to all of your viewers and listeners, if I can ever support you, if I can ever serve as a resource for you, please let me know. One thing I learned from my coach is that healthy people, and at the time I wasn't healthy and I'm still a work in progress, healthy people ask for exactly what they want. And we've all heard that closed mouths don't get fed. Yes. And sometimes we create this narrative of, I don't want to ask Misty for help. I know how busy she is. She's doing this and that and that and this. But Misty will help if she can. And my coach did an exercise. She said, Larry, how do you feel when someone asks you for help? I said, I feel honored, privileged, blessed, humbled that they would ask me. It makes me feel good. And if I can help them, by all means, I will. She said, why would you be so selfish to not allow someone else to have that same feeling of being honored, humbled, blessed, privileged to be able to support you, because you're in your head talking about, I don't want to put someone out. I don't want to ask. Healthy people ask for exactly what they want. So come and find me. I'd love to help you out.
Thank you so much. Let's give Larry another big round of applause. Thank you so much, Larry. And please feel free to come join us anytime. Thank you for taking time out to join us here today. And I look forward to having you on here again.
Thank you, Misty. All the best.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, another great edition of All Purpose Radio. That was so fun. Thank you, Larry Long Jr. Thank you to everybody that watched and viewed and that will watch and view this at any point. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me remind you, you can purchase my new book, Fearless Advocates. All you got to do is go to fearlessadvocates.com. I help advocates become better. I help caregivers become better advocates for them and those that they care for. You can follow me on all the things at Miss All Purpose, MSALLPURPOSE. And if that doesn't help you, look up Misty, middle initial D, Campbell like the soup. This has been another great edition of All Purpose Radio. I am your girl, Miss All Purpose. You can hear me Saturday mornings right here on All Purpose Radio on My Radio Chicago. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Until next time.